heartbreaking because it means that people could have walked away. People could have decided to turn the other cheek or decided to back down, so to speak.
The chief emphasized the various local resources for those dealing with personal conflicts.
Suspects will be charged, held accountable, and they will face justice.
"19-year-old Amari Captain had just reached a major milestone, graduating with the class of 2024. It was a moment that held even deeper meaning for her, not just because she was closing the chapter on her high school years, but because she had accomplished it all while stepping into motherhood. Just a few months before proudly walking across the stage to receive her diploma, she had given birth to her son, Kyrie. Her journey was anything but easy, but those who knew her say she carried it all with grace, resilience, and an infectious spirit. She wasn't just a young woman with a bright future. She was the kind of person people remembered. Her laughter was loud and unfiltered, her energy playful and magnetic. Friends describe her as a true goofball, someone who could light up a room without even trying. She didn't take herself too seriously, and that's what made her so easy to love. Her heart was big, golden even, and anyone who spent time with her felt the warmth of her kindness and humor. Despite her youth, Amari embraced the responsibilities of motherhood with maturity beyond her years. While many people her age were focused on parties, road trips, and social outings, she was more content at home, devoting her time and energy to raising her son. She wasn't one to chase the spotlight or seek constant attention. Her joy came from quieter moments, from the bond she was building with her baby boy. Her priorities had shifted not out of obligation, but out of love. And though she was still very much a teenager, she carried herself with the strength and selflessness of a mother who understood what truly mattered. But not everyone around her shared that same perspective. In contrast to Amari's grounded nature, one of her former friends, 20-year-old Darricana Dunklin, seemed to thrive on attention. Darricana, once a close confidant of Amari's, was known for her presence, her need to be seen, and her hunger for validation through likes, comments, and the approval of others. Sadly, what was once a solid friendship between the two began to unravel. A once meaningful connection had turned into silence, shifting the course of both their lives in ways no one could have predicted. In the early morning hours of September 21st, a sense of urgency swept through an area hospital in Montgomery as police were called to respond to a reported stabbing. Medical staff had alerted authorities after a young woman was brought in with severe injuries that told a grim and violent story. When officers arrived, they were met with a heartbreaking scene, an unresponsive adult female clinging to life, her condition critical. The victim was identified as 19-year-old Amari Capleton, who tragically succumbed to her injuries shortly after the incident. The investigation revealed that 2 women had been stabbed during the attack. While limited information was released about the second woman, it was confirmed that her injuries were not life-threatening. Authorities determined the stabbing occurred in the 3200 block of Raintree Drive. Witnesses at the scene quickly identified 20-year-old Darricana Dunklin as the suspect. According to case filings, Dunklin went to Amari's residence and stabbed her multiple times with a pocket knife. Several witnesses told police that the stabbing stemmed from an argument and confirmed Dunklin as the suspect. Around 2 a.m. that morning, Darricana got into a car with a group of people and headed to a home on Raintree Drive during the early morning hours. At that hour, it was clear that nothing good was about to happen. With adrenaline running high, Darricana stepped out of the car and made a devastating choice, one that would forever alter the lives of everyone involved. She not only took the life of 19-year-old Amari Capleton, but also seriously injured another young woman who had to be rushed to the hospital. The question that haunted everyone was, why? What could have possibly happened between 2 friends that led one to commit such a violent act and almost claim a second life in the process? Darricana appeared to be in a state of intense rage, leaving behind a trail of pain and confusion that shattered a community. The crime was senseless. No one could fully comprehend it. As details began to emerge, people felt compelled to set the record straight. At first, rumors suggested that Amari and Darricana had met somewhere to fight, but that couldn't have been further from the truth. According to a loved one, Darricana actually entered the home, somewhere she had no right to be, and committed an unthinkable act. As more facts came to light, a clearer and more disturbing picture of what truly happened that night began to form. A loved one posted the following: "After this, I'm not responding to anything else. Amari didn't meet up with anybody. Derek Hannah came somewhere she had no business coming in the first place. You came to somebody's house with drama that could have been avoided. People in the car knew what the hell was going to happen, regardless if it was just to slap some tires or not. You still knew she had a knife in her hand when she ran up on Amari. You could have dropped that out of your hand, but you intended to do what the hell you said you was going to do. Anybody that knows Mari knows she was not messy, and you're not about to keep trying to paint a picture as if she was messing with that girl. She was just friends with my cousin 2 months ago, and you only fell out with her because she didn't want to come to her party bus and she didn't want to go to Huntsville with you all. If I was with her, this would have been a whole different turnout. Regardless of the fact, nobody's about to keep going back and forth with none of y'all. It's not going to bring her back. Her son got to grow up without a mom, and her mom got to deal with not seeing her only girl every day. You took her from people that actually love her." For many teens transitioning into adulthood, post-high school life often brings significant changes, especially in friendships. As people grow and take different paths, the shared experiences of high school are no longer enough to sustain those bonds. This leads to a period of adjustment where old connections are tested and new ones are formed. Amari and Derek Hannah have been friends since they were very young. Their bond seemed strong, like the kind that would last a lifetime. But after graduation, things began to shift. Amari became a mother just a few months before finishing high school, and naturally her priorities changed. Her goals and focus moved in a different direction. Still, that doesn't mean a friendship has to end, but sometimes life pulls people apart in ways no one expects. For Amari's mother, life had already been marked by heartbreak. After losing the love of her life in January 2025, she never imagined she would also lose her daughter in the same year. Amari wasn't just her only daughter. She was the one who had given her first grandchild. The weight of these back-to-back tragedies was unimaginable, and it left a pain no mother should ever have to bear. Amari was one of 5 people killed in Montgomery, Alabama that weekend, all in separate incidents involving individuals who knew each other.
That's so sweet. Yay, you love mommy? You love your mommy? Yep, we all love him, Miss Okay. Go ahead, pop.
Too many lives lost, too many families hurting, and too many people asking why this keeps happening.
The Montgomery Police Department will never view violence in our community as acceptable or inevitable.
The weekend deaths were the result of blunt force trauma, a stabbing, and at this location on Carmichael Road, a triple shooting. Mayor Reed says he was there to see the aftermath for himself.
Seeing this scene was tough, as they always are. But again, talking to innocent people is the most problematic part of that, along with those lives that were lost.
Investigators say there's one common denominator in all the deaths. None of them were random. Police say the victims and suspects in each of the 4 cases knew each other.
20-year-old Derek Hannah Dunklin was taken into custody without incident and is currently being held at the Montgomery County Detention Facility on a charge of murder. The lesson in this story is a powerful reminder of how quickly conflict, jealousy, and unresolved emotions can escalate into irreversible tragedy, especially when fueled by poor decisions and unchecked anger. It shows how friendships, even those that begin in childhood, can break down under the pressure of growing up, changing priorities, and miscommunication. When violence is chosen over dialogue, the consequences don't just affect those directly involved, they ripple out, leaving families grieving, children without parents, and entire communities shattered. At its core, the story teaches the importance of walking away from avoidable drama, recognizing when to let go of grudges, and understanding that one impulsive act can destroy countless lives. No argument, party, or falling out is ever worth a life. Rest in peace, Amari Capleton.